Right. Hello, everyone. We've got one of our plant-based week cooking demonstrations coming to you today from Lisa Marley, who's a chef trainer with Proveg International and heavily involved with their school plates program, which I'm sure she'll be able to tell you a little bit more about as we go through today's session. So, hello, Lisa.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. Pleasure to be here. So yes, I work for Proveg UK School Plates Programme, and the recipes I'm showing you from our brochure, we've got 2 free resources which are free to download. The recipe brochure has 35 plant-based recipes, and the good news is they are all been tested, so they're all very delicious. You've got the costing, nutritional information, and they're all suitable for schools. So, shall I tell you what I'm going to cook for you today?
Yes, please.
So, I'm going to show you how to make some really simple recipes that we've used, something a little bit new that we've got. So, we've got these 35 recipes, but we're also developing new recipes based on the feedback we've had from schools. So, whilst I'm talking, I'm just going to plug my hob in. It's a little bit loud, so I'll keep my voice up. And I'm going to show you how to make a basic ragu. Now, as you know, we do monthly workshops and we showcase our recipes in the workshops. And the workshops are aimed at caterers and interested parties, because what we found is we work with local authorities up and down the country, in fact, the 4 nations we work with. And caterers that have been working in the industry for years and years and years sometimes are not confident in plant-based cooking. So we're here to help them gain their confidence, give them ideas. We review the menu, and we've also got an award system as well, which is going really, really well. So I'm going to start by showing you a ragu recipe. So nice and simple, really lovely ingredients. And so you're going to start off with some onion. This is one of our new recipes. So you might think, oh, a ragu, yeah, I can make a ragu, but sometimes switching out, having obviously been completely plant-based, makes a big difference. So this ragu, in our last workshop, we turned into about 4 or 5 different dishes. So we had spaghetti, we made it into spaghetti, then we made it into a chili, then we made it into a lasagna, then we made it into a burrito, and then we made it into a moussaka. So it's the one recipe, but showing you what to do with it to make that one kind of basic ragu into loads of different things. So I've got my onion, a little bit of oil, I've got some celery, and
Lisa,
to that I'm going to add some carrot as well.
Tell me if you can, if you have a very flexible recipe like this, does it help you or caterers to sort of control costs better?
Yes, sorry, I just had to turn the, it's so loud, the hob, I had to turn it off. So were you asking about the cost, which is a very good question? Well, that's an excellent question, because of course, now more than ever, is a big concern. Sorry, I'm just plugging it back in. And so when we first developed the first amount of recipes, on average, it was 54 pence per portion. No, sorry, 44 pence per portion. We go on supermarkets, on an average from supermarkets, because the big, we obviously don't work with the big suppliers, so the costs may vary. But so we're just going to give an average. Now it's gone to 54 pence per portion. Some things have gone up, quite a few things, but some things have gone down, such as lentils. They've gone down, and we use a lot of them in our ingredients. And we try and use ingredients, as well as introducing you to new ingredients, which I've got a few, which I'll talk you through. We also use store cupboard staples that we know you can get that have long shelf life, as well as using fresh vegetables, obviously frozen vegetables, tinned vegetables, they're all equally as good. Got some garlic, which I'm going to pop in. So yes, so we found on average, the schools we work with, the local authorities that we work with, the feedback we've got is on average, they're saving around 20%, which if you think about it is actually huge savings. So yeah, so we're doing a study at the moment. We're working with a university and institutions, so we'll have a lot more solid data on that. But it's taken time to get that information and get it accurate, because we obviously want to give people a really good idea of why the benefits of plant-based food, because not only is it more inclusive, it's obviously healthier and better for the planet as well. So this is, so I've got my onions, my carrots, celery and garlic. To that, I'm going to add some tomato puree. So yeah, we have the workshop every month, and we develop, throughout this year, we're developing new recipes. So every workshop will have, on average, 4 new recipes. But the recipes we've got in our brochure that you can download online, they are tried and tested, crowd pleasers. So yeah, and what I do particularly with my colleagues is I go into the schools, and as I said, we train the caterers in plant-based cooking, and it's just really nice to speak to them and kind of grassroots level, because they know their children, they know the people in the schools, they know what they're going to like. And it's funny, it varies from place to place. They won't eat that, but they're going to love that. So that's really interesting, and it's really nice to get the feedback as well. So you'd sweat that off right off for a good 5 to 10 minutes. We're going to do a little bit of TV magic and pretend we've done that. So we're going to add in some lovely herbs as well, herbs and spices. And of course, these are part of your 5 a day, the herbs and the spices. We're told we want to eat at least 30 a week, and some people can be like quite intimidated by that. But actually, your garlic, your herbs and fresh herbs, dried herbs, they count towards your 5 a day or 10 a day, however many you can manage to get in. And what we want to do, first and foremost, we want good recipes for the children that they're going to enjoy and eat. And we want to put as much vegetables in as possible and protein. And another thing that we get asked all the time is about the macro and micronutrients. A lot of people worry if they're not having meat, where do you get your protein from? But actually, we've done comparisons, and say for our spaghetti bolognese, it's practically the same, practically the same amount of protein. What we are deficient in, mainly in this country, and I'm talking adults as well as children, is fibre. And you can only get fibre from plants. So we're a big tick on that. So add a little bit more stock.
Lisa, can you hear me?
If I unplug it, I can hear you. Go on.
Okay. You mentioned right at the start, this was a new recipe. Can you tell us in what way that it's changed?
Oh, so what it is, when I say it's a new recipe, we've got the brochure, which has 35 plant-based recipes, and we're doing another one. So volume 2, if you like. So this is going to be in the new brochure, and this is the ragu, which can be made 7 ways. So that's not been printed yet, but if anyone did want this particular recipe, do send us an email via our website and we'll get back to you, because the brochure probably won't be available to the end of the year. I'm not quite sure on that, but definitely send us an email and we can send you a printout for sure. So to this, I'm going to add something called, it's a dried soya mince. Let me show you it. It's readily available. It's really high in protein. It's comparatively really low cost, and a little goes a long way, and it's got a long shelf life as well. So, and it bulks up. So it looked like that. It does look a little bit funny, but once you add it in, it tastes brilliant. Really, really good for you, packed with vitamins and minerals. I'm going to add in the stock to give it some more flavour. Give that mix around. To that, I'm also going to add some tinned tomatoes. You can add fresh if you prefer fresh tomatoes, but obviously we realise that caterers are cooking for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Time is of the essence. So they want to get things cooked as quickly as possible, which is understandable. So tinned is perfect. And also, obviously, you can buy it in bigger bulk. It's more cost effective. So I'm going to add those in. So within this, obviously, you can see we've got quite a few vegetables. You've got those lovely spices. And to this, as I said, so if I wanted to make this into a chili, I would add some sweet smoked paprika. Maybe I'd add some mild chili powder. I'd add some kidney beans. And all of a sudden, it's now a chili, which can go in a burrito, on a jacket potato, add some rice. So we're trying to make things simple and effective, cost effective, time effective, but above all, taste and health and nutrition. So this would just simmer now for 15 minutes, no time at all, really quick to make. And I'm just going to show you what I can also make with this is a shepherd's pie or a cottage pie, if you want to call it. And we do have a really lovely recipe in our current recipe brochure for a cottage pie. So I'm just going to pack that in. I don't know if you can see, I think you can.
Yeah.
You just have to interrupt me because I tend to talk a lot. So you just have to come up for air. So yeah, so I was talking about the macro and micronutrients. So what we've done, we run all our recipes through software, special software to make sure. So I'm just going to move this a second to make sure it meets all the standards. And of course, we're doing it now with the 4 nations because we're working with Scotland and Wales and hopefully Ireland soon. And I've just got a lovely mash. So with our mash, we try and also mix it up. So we've got turnip and potato in here, just adding extra. So it looks exactly the same, but you've got the added taste and the added nutrition. And we also like to maybe add some carrot or sweet potato or butternut squash. And something which you may or may not be familiar with, maybe we've spoken about this before, but it's nutritional yeast.
Okay.
So so nutritional yeast, it looks a bit funny, but it's a really good flavour. So it tastes really cheesy. So we put it in our macaroni cheese, we put it in our pasta sauces, we put it in our white sauce, our bechamel sauce, in our mashed potato. And it's got the added benefit of being really high in vitamin B12. So it's really, really good for you. And it's got a really lovely cheesy flavour. So I've added that into the mash, just blitzed it up. And then I'm just going to pipe on the top, nice and simple. So obviously you could do a big tray of this. And you've got a really lovely, comforting pie. You could even put some plant cheese on top. Sprinkle that in the oven. And talking of the oven, I do have one that I made earlier. So I'm just going to show you quickly what it looks like from the oven. Won't be a second. Oops, it's nice and warm. And there you see you've got a really lovely bubbling pie.
Does look nice, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Tell me about the nutritional yeast, Lisa. Where do you get yours from?
So you can get it in most supermarkets. You can get it in most of the big suppliers that caterers use as well. You can get it in health food shops. It's really widely available. So have a chat with your supplier if you're thinking about, if you're watching this and you're thinking about using it, because it really is worth trying out. And if they don't, what I always say to caterers, because sometimes they say, if we have a spice or just an ingredient, they say, oh, they don't do that. Ask, request it, because they want your business. They will get it for you. But luckily, nutritional yeast is readily available. So I'm going to show you now another recipe. And these are our crunchy cauliflower buffalo wings with a nice creamy dip. So they're really good on their own. They're a really good side, and they're just just really good for you. And I'll tell you why. Easy to make, cauliflower, brilliant ingredient, cheap as chips, really good for you, loads of vitamins and minerals, and underused in my opinion. I make a lovely cauliflower and parsnip soup with a bit of curry powder. So we're going to make a batter. I'm going to use chickpea flour.
Okay.
And the reason we use chickpea flour is because it's got loads of protein in it, obviously made from chickpeas. It's got a bit more of a lovely flavour, a sweetness. Plain flour is a bit boring, so we've got the colour and also the goodness. I'm just going to add some plant milk, but you can use water as well. You don't have to use plant milk. To keep the cost even lower, you can just use water. And we're going to make a nice batter. And we're going to use some breadcrumbs. And again, you can make your own breadcrumbs, your stale bread, really simple to do. You can freeze them, or you can buy them in bulk from your supplier. So nice and simple.
Does the chickpea flour handle in much the same way that caterers would be familiar with regular wheat flour?
Yes, so you can make pancakes with it. You can use it in baking, just thicken sauces, make batters. If I'm using it in baking, I'd probably do a mix. So the same way I would if I'm making bread, I'd add that to 50-50, maybe some whole wheat flour and some bread flour. So yeah, it's just a really nice alternative, especially for like a batter or to thicken a sauce. And also you've got that nice kind of like yellowy colour as well, which works really well. So I'm going to just put that to one side, and then I've got some lovely breadcrumbs here. And to the breadcrumbs, I'm going to add some sweet smoked paprika, some thyme, and some garlic granules and onion granules. So you've got loads of flavour going on. Give that a little mix around. And we're just going to coat the panne, basically. We're going to coat the cauliflower in the batter. And
Is
then,
the cauliflower raw, or have you blanched it?
no, completely raw. So I've just done little florets. And what I would do, if any of the hard stem, because you would probably trim it a little bit, because you want it to be kind of bite-sized, I would save that for a stock, or I'd blitz it into a soup. So you want zero waste, obviously, really important. So yeah, kind of bite-sized, like chicken wings. That's kind of what we're emulating, but nice and healthy and cheaper. So I'm just going to coat that. Yeah, so last thing I'll say on the macro and micronutrients is that rest assured, we've run the analytics and everything is covered, so that we're making sure the children get adhere to all the standards of the 4 nations and get the vitamins and minerals that they need. So again, another super simple dish. And then you're going to place it onto a baking tray. And this goes down really well. This is a real winner. We found this to be one of our most popular dishes, along with the gooey chocolate brownie. No surprises there. I think I showed you that last time, but that's one of my favourites. That's made with black beans and beetroot. And then you will bake that in the oven, probably 15 minutes, really no time at all. And then, as I said, you'd serve it with maybe a chili dip or alongside something, and it's just yummy, yummy. I always make myself hungry, which I guess is a good thing. So I'll just quickly show you one more recipe.
Okay.
Because I appreciate I've been talking a lot. So I'll just quickly show another really simple dish. This is a crumble, a summer fruits crumble, but again, you could mix this up and use any fruits you like. You can make this an apple crumble, an apple and pear crumble. I've just used frozen fruit, some lovely berries, and I'm going to add some oats into a tin, into my bowl, and some soft brown sugar. Going to add that in because we do need some sweetness, but again, we've measured it out, so we know it's each child is getting the exact portion. And then I'm going to add in some oil. So again, nice store covered ingredients. Give that a nice mix. Again, really quick dessert, this one, but served lovely with custard, goes well with a raspberry whipple yogurt, which is in the recipe brochure. Some plant yogurt works really well. And then we're just going to load up. If you were doing apple and pear, you could add some cinnamon in. So, you know, really familiar recipes, but adding a little bit more fibre, a little bit more flavour, a little bit more plants. So giving the children the best chance to, you know, get the energy and nutrition that they need whilst studying. And then you just, of course, you could obviously make a big vat of that and pop it in the oven. I've got one that I can show you. Oh, I'll just grab my things. And you've got a lovely, delicious crumble that you can serve with.
That does look nice, doesn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who wouldn't want that?
Well, that actually brings me on to a question, Lisa, because you've been very good about explaining the ease of the recipes, the nutrition that the ingredients bring. You've said they're popular, but where do you test your recipes to get the feedback from the children?
That's a really good question. So the first brochure we tested just on each other, and lots of people were involved. And then it was kind of like just our instinct, and we've gone the second lot. We've obviously in a much better position because we've had all the feedback from the first brochure, and luckily the feedback's been really good. So the children have been our biggest critiques, and so yeah, we know which ones are the crowd pleasers, like the Sri Lankan coconut curry is really popular. The spicy Singapore noodles are really popular, and so we know that they like flavour, they like world food, and they're not against plant-based food. They don't, it's just good food. They like pizza. So if a pizza's plant-based or a pizza's got chicken on it, they just like pizza. Same with the curry. They don't like the curry because it's got what's in it. They just like the taste, and they know that they like curry. So it's been really brilliant learning about what the children like and what's popular, and we're taking all that information and creating new recipes. And these are the ones I've shown you today are pretty not standard. They're not really out there, but we're doing like katsu curries. We're doing, you know, a bit more. We're working with tofu, tempeh, just ingredients that may or may not be familiar. But then we've also, bearing in mind, we've got, you know, nice lentil loaf, just crowd pleasers. So we're just trying to give people ideas and inspire them, and also, as I said, give confidence to the caterers, because ultimately they sell the food to the children. If they like it, that kind of trickles down. So yeah.
Is there a difference between the tastes of the younger primary age children as against the older secondary school ones?
At the moment, we're just working with primary schools. However, we have started to cross over just naturally because of the demands there. With the secondary schools, they like a lot of grab and go. So they like the wraps, pizzas, jacket potatoes. They are definitely more into kind of boxed food that they can take away with them. Other than that, they just want more choice, and they want better choice, because we get time and time again, we get like the vegetarian option's really boring. There's not a vegan option. So what we want in an ideal world, it wouldn't matter what the label is. It'd just be really good food that everyone can enjoy. So we're not focusing on children that are vegetarian or children that are plant-based or children that are vegan. We're focusing on children, and it doesn't matter. The meat-eating children can pick the plant-based dish and still think, oh wow, that's really good. I like Wednesdays because we've got this dish. So yeah, secondary schools a little bit different, but ultimately they just want good food as well. Yeah.
Don't we all?
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, I know I do. That's for sure. Yeah. So if anyone does want any more information, please do contact us. We're here to help. Our services are free. So we are a community interest company, we're donor funded, and we are growing rapidly. So the demand's just really kind of there, and we are ready, and we've got a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience. So yeah, it'd be great
just one more thing before you go, Lisa, and thank you very much for your time today and the recipes. It's been great. The school plates awards program that you run, could you just very briefly give us a little bit of an outline about how that works?
Yes. In fact, the awards program is a really brilliant guideline to how to implement all the advice and creativity that we can offer you. And it kind of is a really easy way, so you can tick, 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 and then you get a nice award at the end of it, bronze, silver, gold. And or if you're at the very beginning of your journey, it gives you a really good signposting. So again, it's free to enter, free to join. And we help you along the way. We want you to have an award. We want everyone to be able to say, yes, we do this, and our menu's really improved. And we've got a great team behind it as well that work really hard to make sure that it's achievable. And with the last thing we want to help, we don't want it to be like, oh no, we've got to do this. It's more like, no, this to actually make things easier. And yeah, and it's going really well. I've had some lovely articles in the press recently about some of our partners getting bronze and silver, and we're waiting for someone to get a gold. I'm sure it's going to happen very soon. Yeah. And it's just lovely to see as well. So again, please do contact us if you want any more information, and someone will get back to you, and we're here to help for sure.
Yeah, well, Lisa Marley, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
We'll see you again soon, I hope.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.